Thanks again to everybody that came out last week. I just thought it was a great example of Virginia Tech and school pride. Just fantastic crowd. Really into the ball game. You know, everything you'd ever dream of from an atmosphere standpoint. I haven't seen all of the college game day, but I've heard that it was. I got to go down there, and I've heard that it was just absolutely fantastic. So. As we turn the page to Boston College, we've got a tremendous challenge. We've got to go on the road, our first road conference game. We know just a couple weeks ago they were tied with Clemson 7-7 in the fourth quarter. A big, physical, tough opponent that wants to run the football and has played great defense and is very well coached and very good on special teams. So I look forward to our guys having a great week of preparation and getting ready for this one.
So I don't remember who it was, but somebody asked you if you kicked yourself about some things that went on in that game, and you said you kicked yourself about a lot of things. I mean, when you reviewed film, were there some things that were particularly irksome to you in terms of just either execution or play calling or just coaching from yourself or anything like that?
Well, yeah, and I would reiterate that. Yeah, absolutely. There's like that every week, whether we win or lose. We always evaluate everything that we said or did or taught going into that week. So certainly, there's several things in all three phases of the game that we wish we'd had done differently or handled differently or played differently. I mean, I think when we met yesterday, we talked about, tried to highlight some of all of the things that had nothing to do with Clemson. I mean, they made plenty of plays on their own, and we knew that going in. And there were just several examples of us not doing things well that really had that had everything to do with us and nothing to do with them. And that was probably the most disappointing thing overall, because like I said, we knew they were going to make plays, and there's mistakes and there's forced mistakes, and they're going to force you into mistakes and make plays.
Any of that you can share? The mistakes you mentioned from yourself, I mean, as a team?
So ask me the question again and I'll answer it. What mistakes did I make, or did we make, or what plays did I not like, or what? Just kind of give me a specific and I'll answer.
You said several things stood out as far as mistakes that you guys made that Clemson didn't create or anything like that. Is there something you can share?
Well, we didn't block on the backside of 17. We didn't fan when they were in an odd front. I mean, we didn't catch the ball before turning to run up the field. I mean, there's a litany of things in there. And again, it's shared. So because those are the three things I mentioned, it doesn't mean that it belongs to one group or one side of the ball or one person. I mean, that's on all of us, and obviously me as the head coach to give us the best chance to win with what we've got. And in order for us to do that, we can't make those simple mistakes.
Coming back after a loss, was there anything encouraging you saw on Sundays? The approach from the team, the way you'd like to see it?
Yeah, I thought it was good. We had a good workout Sunday. I think our kids understand the challenges in front of them. None of them were happy about what happened. There was not certainly wasn't a group that. My message was, you don't even walk in here and feel sorry for yourself. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. It's up to us to change the situation we're in. So. I think they heard that, and I look forward to seeing them the rest of the week.
Now that you've had a chance to go back and look at the film, considering all the circumstances, how do you think the offensive line held up against their D-line?
Oh, I mean, I would say that we should have played better at every single position. I mean, at quarterback, at offensive line, at defensive line, at linebacker, at defensive back, at punter. Greg Stroman at punt returner was probably as good as you could get. Other than that, I would give our whole team a very average grade.
Questions for Coach? Raise your hand.
Coming in, I saw that you guys had on the TVs there outside your office the respond or react kind of mantra. What's the meaning behind that this week?
Well, when you're faced with adversity or outcomes that you don't particularly want or didn't aspire to, you have two options. You can react and go the wrong way, or you can respond to the situation. And hopefully we'll have a great week of prep and do a great job responding.
You guys have been doing this since the start of August. I don't know, in your history as a coach, when you have an open week that's out there sort of on the horizon, do you ever see teams looking ahead to that, or do you have to guard against anything like that?
Oh, I don't know. I think there's an element of understanding that you have to live with this result for 2 weeks. When you've got a bye week after the next game, but I don't know that I've really experienced much where guys were anything other than focused on trying to handle business, while maybe excited about being able to get healthy and get caught up on some stuff. But
You guys have kind of relied on Coleman Fox later in the games, these last couple games. Is he close to maybe earning or carving out a big role in the rotation earlier in the game?
well, I don't know. We'll see. The 2 weeks ago, or the last, excluding the Clemson game, the games are out of hand, and we wanted to get him in there. Jalen had been sick, and this past week, we had a fumble, we had a missed block on the perimeter, and Coleman had practiced well, so we felt like putting him in there. So I don't know. We'll see. He's done a good job when he's been in there, and he continues to work hard. So we'll see going into this week.
James Clark's been on the sideline the last couple weeks. You've had Henry Murphy doing the kickoffs. Is Clark nicked up, or is that just something Murphy's doing better in that role?
Oh, I think it's a little bit of both. James is dealing with a few things, and Henry's done a good job. Henry was a little banged up for a little while, so James kind of came into that role, and James gets a little banged up, so Henry's kind of back healthy, and he kind of slides in.
I know you've been bringing along a couple of younger guys as backup cornerbacks, with Brandon sort of banged up and Adonis missed a few games. Is it becoming more and more important to sort of get some younger guys ready, at least at those spots? I know you like your depth there with 3 guys you can depend on, but is it getting more important for the younger guys to kind of step up?
Well, I think developing our younger guys at every spot's important. I think Watts is the closest one that's ready to contribute. I didn't know that Brandon was injured. He was at practice yesterday practicing, so I anticipate everything will be fine. But and continuing to bring Bryce and some of those young guys along is going to be important, because you just never know what's going to happen. It's a long season.
Is Quillen still working quarterback?
Yeah, some.
Coach, I know it's early, but what have you seen out of Boston College so far that's impressed you?
Well, their size is the first thing. They're a big, strong, physical football team. They're getting many more big personnel groups, multiple tight ends under the center, try and run the ball at you, play action over the top, do a good job with their naked and boots. Very sound on special teams. Their punt returner has been fantastic. Statistically, I don't know where he's at, but they really had a good game versus Clemson and a good game last week. And then defensively, it's a lot of man coverage. They don't back up very much. They get down there in your face and play press man and mix a little bit of zone in. So overall, it's a big, physical, well-coached football team.
Questions for Coach?
Why have they had such a hard time scoring? And have you gotten a sense for why that's been such an issue for them?
Oh, I don't know. I think they're built a certain way, in terms of playing really good defense and playing really well on special teams and running the football and trying to maybe shorten the game a little bit and try and find a way to make a couple plays. enough to win games. They've played some quality people. But I just think their makeup, is surrounded by playing great defense and special teams and running the football and taking care of the ball.
Coach Joey Sly's been struggling some. He missed another field goal against Clemson. Do you have any concerns currently with Sly, or are you not worried about him at all?
Sure. I mean, absolutely concerned about it.
Anybody else for Coach? Going once, going twice.
Were there any seniors, upperclassmen, or anything who were particularly vocal yesterday after that loss? I mean, I know you don't want to lose, but I know it's not catastrophic to lose to the number 2 team in the country, but it's not desperate times or anything like that. I just didn't know if anybody was sort of stepping up and telling people to kind of put it behind them at all.
Oh, I didn't see any. I mean, it certainly wasn't time for a players-only meeting and circling of the wagons. I mean, it's early in the year, and I think our guys are excited about the challenge in front of us. So, my answer would be no. I do think we have good leadership, though. I never really felt like there have been a couple of times when guys have addressed the group, like through camp and that sort of stuff, where we were getting a little bit stale, heading into the first game or whatever that is. But nothing out of the ordinary this week so far.
All right, thank you, everybody. Still looking at class schedules and such for tomorrow, so we'll keep you posted on the lineup, okay?
Thanks.